The latest film in the Scream franchise, Scream 6, has dropped in theaters, and so here's my take on it. Hi, my name is Nathan, and I talk about a bunch of movies on this channel. If you're new here, down below in the comment section, share what you thought of Scream 6 over on my channel. I have more content, reviews like this. Check those out once this video is over. Click that like button, be sure to subscribe. It does help a lot. And with that said, let's just get straight into it with the review, starting off with the good. And much like a bunch of the previous Scream movies, this one is another very solid addition to the franchise. What I expect from a Scream movie is that it keeps me guessing, there's some nasty kills, and some meta-commentary, and I think that it does those very well. Like, the kills just feel more violent in this movie, because it just lingers on these shots of, like, Ghostface with a shotgun and things like that. And that's what I like from slasher movies like this. And with a Scream movie, there's always some sort of meta-commentary going on. Whether it's with characters talking about horror movies that they have seen, and building that into the Scream franchise. The first original Scream commented on horror movies. The second one commented on sequels. And this one, and actually the one last year also, it commented on the legacy sequel craze that we all have right now. And this one is sort of commenting on big franchise films. How they're far into a franchise, and therefore anybody could be the killer in this case. And it keeps you guessing from beginning to end, from like the cold open, which is really clever in the way it plays out. And I said, oh, that's actually quite clever the way you're doing things, and it keeps you guessing from beginning to end. Some people, it's pretty clear who it is, and others you don't see coming later in the film. And so that's what I thoroughly enjoy about these movies, is that it just keeps you guessing from beginning to end, trying to make you piece things together. And what I enjoy about this new set of Scream movies, the one from last year, the one right now, is that it truly makes our Sam character the lead of these films. As she has deep ties to the previous Ghostface killers of the past, as her father is Billy Loomis, the killer from the original Scream, and Billy Loomis's mom is the killer in Scream 2. And it truly makes her the lead. Her the character you follow around all the time. Another thing to talk about here is that it cleverly ties all of the previous films together. It might have the most references to all of these films, as it manages to tie in all of these little things from the previous films. And I think it just does that in a really clever way. And it has some interesting ideas with how the internet would react to Scream 5 2022, and how they would react to these people in public, in real life. It's not as prominent, but it's an interesting way to continue a storyline left in the previous film. Another thing to talk about here, there is the return of Kirby, and you know, she still is Kirby, but as a grown-up. Like, she is a character, how do I phrase this? She still has all the charm of Kirby while also being a grown-up, having a job and things like that. And it's just these nice little sprinkles of her throughout the movie. And, finally, it's nice that this is a film that doesn't rely on Sidney Prescott. Obviously, she's like the final girl in every single other Scream movie, and I think it makes sense that she's not in this movie. Much like last week, Creed 3 came out, I think it made sense Rocky was not in it. I think it made sense Sidney Prescott is not in this film. Because if she was in this film, it would just feel contrived on how she would go all the way to New York and be in this film. But here, it doesn't rely on Sidney Prescott. And also, I forgot to mention one thing. Since it is set in a new setting in New York, it has these interesting concepts about, like, if Ghostface were to attack you in a city apartment building, how would you escape? and it just has all those edge of your seat thrills right attached to it. So, in general, this is a solid horror slasher film. And from there, let's move on to the bad, because it's not a perfect movie. And this is a film that I wanted to like it more than I actually did. Because, like I said, it's a solid addition to the franchise. But I think there's just one huge problem when it comes to this film, is that you have to suspend so much disbelief, and there are huge logic problems in it. Like, characters will get stabbed like 20 times, and then at the very end of it, they're just like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna be okay. And sometimes you just gotta have a character die, and like get rid of the like important characters even. Like, you just gotta have some characters die. And also, like, along the same lines, Ghostface gets away so easily in most of these sequences. There's no trace of him. He just runs away and is able to get away. Really, like, that really doesn't make much sense. And I think that just hurts this movie just a little bit and knocks it back from being up here. Instead, it's now just here because of this one big problem. But in general, I did enjoy this movie. My final score, I'll give this one a B. If you're a Scream fan, definitely go see it on the big screen. And if you're a horror slasher fan, see it, but you have to suspend a bit of disbelief. Down below in the comment section, share what you thought of it. Click that like button, be sure to subscribe. I thank you guys for sticking around to the end. I will see you in the next one.